Good morning. What you don't know can hurt you. This is Hired Done. My name's Adam Helfman. In studio, Matt Callanan, Fiber Frame out of Toledo, Ohio. Fastest growing window company in Metro Detroit. If you want fiberglass windows, you want the best price and installed by the manufacturer, the triple threat, we'll call it. You got to give Fiber Frame a call. Welcome back, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
So obviously, previously, we were just talking about the process of a fiberglass window and what's the best window for your house, the installation process, and all that. But let's get right to, if you're thinking of windows for your house and you want to get them installed properly, you want to get a great price, and you want a really, really good window, they should give you a shot, right?
Yeah, we cover all three of those bases right there.
Which we like. We always will be proper that. If you want to talk, if you want to learn a little bit about, keep it locked in here. But we're also on Facebook Live right now. If you want to check us out in the studio, people like to voyeur a little bit, you know. Or if you have a question, text us 248-539-9797. It's Labor Day weekend, and we're live in studio here to help you answer the best questions for your house, especially we're talking fiberglass windows. So let's talk about fiberglass windows. The window business in Metro Detroit is kind of one of the biggest markets in the country. You've got Cleveland, Chicago, New York, and Detroit. For generations, for decades, the largest window companies in Metro in the United States, or the largest window markets.
Yeah, and that's, I think, attributed to the four seasons that we experience. I mean, It just wreaks havoc on all building materials.
Sure, siding, windows, roofing, of course, we talk about a lot here. But since we're focusing on fiberglass windows, what makes fiberglass better than vinyl?
Just the lifetime product that it provides.
So this is the last window you ever put in your house?
Last window you ever put in your house.
Unless you want to change colors. But you can paint.
You can repaint fiberglass. And that's one of the biggest advantages that fiberglass has compared to every other product on the market. Regardless, I mean, you can take care of a vinyl window, you can take care of a wood window, but eventually the maintenance and the breakdown on those, and with vinyl, you can't paint it because the expansion and contraction, it ends up making that paint pop. Aluminum clad, you're going to have oxidization. So fiberglass is really the one product that is repaintable, just because that repainted surface is not going to pop or peel. Interesting.
Well, that's important that you do that. So you can paint the fiberglass. Now, what about vinyl? You can't paint vinyl. You can paint vinyl, but it won't last.
It won't last. It's just going to, because of the expansion and contraction, that paint will pop off that vinyl surface.
Got it. We're talking with Matt Callanan from Fiber Frame Windows out of Toledo, Ohio, who's in the Metro Detroit area. Matt, you live in Michigan.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. You're born and raised Detroiter. You went to Lawrence Tech.
Yep.
Shout out to LTU.
Exactly. Right down the street.
Whoop, whoop. That's always cool. So if someone wants to get a quote from Fiber Frame for fiberglass windows, you know, to me, I'm thinking, fiberglass is expensive. But in your situation, you're the same price as vinyl.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, the reason why fiberglass is expensive in the marketplace, and regardless of what product you choose, and it's unfortunate where it's come to, but everything is a little bit overpriced, to where if you really break down what the costs that are attributed in the actual window market, nothing has to do with the window itself. We used to build the vinyl window. We know how much a vinyl window is to make. So when we come in, the price of a vinyl company,
you're the manufacturer.
We're the manufacturer.
You have an advantage.
Exactly. So we're taking out that middleman, those sales commissions, the gimmicks. Nobody wants to be told one price and then 5 minutes later they're told it's $10,000 cheaper. Just give me the best price up front. And that's our goal, and that's what we set out to do, is that there's really no need to hassle or haggle. There's no need to be sold on a gimmick or a discount, buy now, or hey, at the end of the week it's going to go up to X.
Right. There's no incentive. Buy now. There's, this, hey, blah, 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 blah.
No, there's already enough pressure. Once you get that proposal, I mean, that's the unfortunate thing is that people either, one, don't realize how much a window project will cost. Two, they don't realize how many windows they actually have in their house, and it adds up quickly. So everything needs to be taken into account. And that's where we come in to try to give that hassle free, no pressure.
Right.
You call us, we come out, we'll measure your windows, we'll talk about a product, we'll educate you on our product. But at no time do we say, hey, sign on the dotted line. We want you to take your
No
time,
pressure.
review our proposal, shop it around, because at the end of the day, you should always get 3 bids. We hope that you find that what product you're getting from us, the highest quality fiberglass product on the market, at a reasonable price.
That's the key here. What's unique about you is you have a price advantage because you're the manufacturer.
Yep.
And it's fiberglass. So in Metro Detroit, I don't think there's another company out there that's a manufacturer for fiberglass and installs and sells all for homeowners in Metro Detroit, which is a unique advantage here, of course. We're talking with Matt Callanan from Fiber Frame Window. The number is 419-574-9714. Fiberframe.com. They're a fiberglass window company. I recently went to a project in Plymouth, Michigan that you guys were installing. We met out there, you and I. And I got a chance to talk to the homeowner about the process. And I learned some unique situations. And watching you guys install the windows, incredible, by the way. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to give you my experience. I'm going to give everyone out here more information on fiberglass windows. So keep it locked in. We have fiberframe.com in studio. My name's Adam Helfman. We'll be right back.
Are you dreading the thought of having a salesman come to your home when you need a new roof? That changes now. I'm Mike Harvey, founder of the Roof Resource, and shopping for a new roof has never been easier. We provide a complete new roof with quality shingles, expert installation, and family pricing for everyone. If you want a 5-star customer experience, all done virtually, then visit theroofresource.com. This is the new, no-pressure way to get a new roof on your home. To learn more, visit theroofresource.com. That's theroofresource.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. You got a question for some fiberglass windows? We have Matt Callanan from Fiber Frame in studio. 248-539-9797. Text us a question if you have one. I've always wanted to ask your opinion on name of homes. We'll talk about that off the record. They're decent. Look, back in the 70s, that builder was a bad builder, or had quality issues, we'll call it. But today, their production and the quality of the house is good. Someone texted a question about a builder. They asked, "Are they as bad as people say?" I don't want to read the name, but they're not as bad as people say. Anyways, Matt from Fiber Frame, fiberframe.com, vinyl window competitor, fiberglass windows, same price as vinyl in your situation, if not less. And I went and visited a job in Plymouth. So I met the customer. I met you guys out there. They were doing a black frame fiberglass. And I was watching how they were installing. And you know me, I go to look at a job. I look at where they're set up. You know, do they protect the existing environment? Are they drop cloths? I look at things like that. I know it's a little off. I'm just not looking at the window. I'm looking at the workers, you know, where they park the vans. Are they in the driveway dripping oil everywhere? Are they in the street? Do they set a work, you know, very, very professional. So if anyone out there is looking for a really professional crew that installs what they produce and manufacture, Fiber Frame Windows is definitely top of the list. Matt, so we went to Plymouth. We saw the job. Describe the job, like what kind of window you sold them, and then we can talk about what I had my conversation with the homeowner.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for the feedback on that project. I mean, that's our biggest thing. When we come to a client's house during the installation process, there's no project that we're not being inconvenient. So the least we can do is be courteous, having the drop cloths, doing proper installations. All of our guys are very professional. But yeah, in that particular project, we provided double hung windows with a black exterior, white interior. Fiberglass. With what we call as a GBG, which is a grid between the glass that was black and white.
Real quick, grid between the glass, mullions, mutton bars. There's like 9 different versions.
There is. So, I mean, you can get into the weeds on what design aesthetics you want to go into in the windows. Thickness.
Outside, inside, blah, blah, blah. There's a million ways.
Yeah, there's a million things, but that's kind of our bread and butter. So none of that worries us. So you have any questions or wants to do something fancy, historic districts, like all the stuff that you have to kind of,
and your company,
do it.
Fiberframe.com does it all. So you did it. And I watched, when I got there, you guys were also putting in a big door wall.
Yeah. So that was a 4-panel door wall that was a little over 12 foot
Monster.
wide. Yeah. Just shy of 8 feet tall. But yeah, we can get pretty large on those door walls, up to 16 feet wide, 8 foot tall. You can put transoms on top. But yeah, I mean, this house was a beautiful house to begin with. They had, it's built in 1911. There was very concerning aspects to the project that the customer didn't want impacted. The interior trim had all biscuit jointed miters, the old craftsman style, real high, meticulous, high-end interior finishes. And then the exterior was all wood, to where every other client that came in or competitor that came in wanted to wrap all of those windows in.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to ask you. We're talking with Matt Callanan from Fiber Frame Windows, fiberframe.com out of Toledo, Ohio, the fastest growing fiberglass window company in Metro Detroit. I'm getting rave reviews about them, and I went and personally saw a project. I asked the homeowner, I said, hey, what made you decide on Fiber Frame? And he was very, very explicit about that you guys are the manufacturer, that your salesperson was not high pressure, explained everything and just said, look, here's more of an educational approach.
Yeah.
He felt really good about that. And then he got other prices, and he said a lot of the vinyl, most of the companies that came out were vinyl, were all more money than you guys. Like extensively more.
Yeah, and that's kind of the mantra that goes into the market currently. So the one company, one of the competitors is a vinyl company. They came out, they start at $68,000, immediately drop within the first 10 minutes to $58,000. And then before they walk out the door, they try to drop it down to $48,000. So that
So that alone right there is indicative of how crazy the home improvement business in Metro Detroit. Roofing, windows, siding, they're all like that. They start out at this high price.
Yep.
Homeowners shouldn't, what if you said yes at the highest price and then you find out later that you could have gotten the same exact window for $10,000, $12,000? It's
sickening.
It's disheartening.
Yeah, it is disheartening. I mean, that's the real problem, I think, in the distaste that most of the consumers that come to us are kind of pessimistic when it seems of our approach, to where they figure, all right, there has to be a catch. How are you guys doing this for what you're doing it for? And it's because we're the manufacturer. It's because we know the cost of our window, and we just want to sell it at an honest and fair price. Are we going to be the cheapest in all aspects? No, there was one vinyl company that was a little bit cheaper than us.
Sure.
But what we truly try to value is the product that you're getting with the professional installation from us. All of those things add value to what.
What's the warranty for
lifetime
on everything?
On everything.
So it's the last window you ever have.
Last window you ever have. Last window you ever have to worry about.
So I put it in my house today, 2024. In 2050, one of the sashes has got a little work done. I call you up.
Yep. Call us up. We'll be
You're
up
like,
there.
oh yeah, we're on our way.
Yeah, and that's the beauty about technology nowadays, is that everything's digitized. So more than likely, you're going to lose that paperwork. But we have everything meticulously crafted and archived.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, that always helps. It does help a lot. So if someone wants to get a quote, go to fiberframe.com or give you a call, the number.
Yep. All through the weekend. So we're accessible even through Labor Day. So
The number to call is 419-574-9714. You can do black. Can you do any color?
any color. So we partnered back with Sherwin-Williams back in 1997. So we have 8 standard colors, but anything in their color Rolodex we can do. We can do custom color matches. We've done weird colors, salmon, rain, any color that you can think of. Pistachio. I mean, it's wild what you'd come across with some.
Most popular is white. Second most popular now is black, right?
Black, yeah. We call it the Joanna Gaines effect.
Right?
Yep.
It's like gray cabinets, white cabinets.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, anything you think of, interior colors, we can mix and match. You have a different room, you have a library that you want to have a dark window. We actually have a true oak veneer.
Can I mix and match colors?
Yeah. It doesn't matter to us.
So I can do like an interior wood style?
Yeah, we have a natural oak veneer that goes onto our products, laminated. It's stainable. It's sandable.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Do you guys do the painting and staining also?
Yeah. Yeah, we have some clients that would request we give it to them or we install it raw, and then they'll have one of their staining contractors come out and do the whole project.
Well, that's interesting. Very interesting. Well, Matt, thank you for coming in again. Happy Labor Day weekend to you, brother.
You as well. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Matt Callanan, fiberframe.com, 419-574-9714. Go to hireitdone.com. You can, if you don't want to write the number down, you can get to them right away. Tell them you heard on Hire It Done. You want fiberglass windows for the best price locally? I endorse them. My name's Adam Helfman. We'll be right back.
Are you dreading the thought of having a salesman come to your home when you need a new roof? That changes now. I'm Mike Harvey, founder of the Roof Resource, and shopping for a new roof has never been easier. We provide a complete new roof with quality shingles, expert installation, and family pricing for everyone. If you want a 5-star customer experience, all done virtually, then visit theroofresource.com. This is the new, no-pressure way to get a new roof on your home. To learn more, visit theroofresource.com. That's theroofresource.com.
Welcome back. This is How We're Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Just finished a great interview with Matt Callanan of Fiber Frame Windows. If you're thinking about getting windows for your house, obviously I've said it in the past. Glenn Hagee said it first. The best window is the one that's installed properly. So the installers is important, or if not more important than the product. But when you deal with the manufacturer, the factory, the salespeople, and the installers are all the same company, you have an advantage, a sales advantage, a price advantage. Look at Wallside Windows does that, and they're vinyl. Okay. If you want fiberglass, you want a stronger window and one that's scientifically, in my opinion, better window, you should check out FiberFrame. It's fiberframe.com. You won't be disappointed. Trust me, pricing wise, you'll be like, wow, it makes a big difference. So with that being said, what else is going on? Well, look, we've had some severe weather, right? And if you notice, the weather coming in now, it's like that morning the other day, it was 1% chance of rain. By like noon, it was like, rain's coming in. And then like 4 or 5 o'clock, the wind started blowing. And then it was like someone hit a switch, kaboom. And then an hour, 2 hours later, trees down everywhere. Water in basements flooding everywhere. Severe weather. Call it climate change, call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it headaches. Okay. In studio with me right now is Steve Fumia and Andrew Fumia of Easy Dry Water Mitigation and Property Restoration out of Metro Detroit, obviously. Gentlemen, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Adam. How are you?
Welcome back to the show.
Appreciate it.
You guys both look like you haven't slept in like a week.
It's been a long week. I feel like we've had a ton of long weeks recently.
Yeah, well, it's been a good string for the last 3 to 6 months, basically.
Yeah, good depending on who you ask.
Well, obviously, yeah, right. I was like kind of thinking maybe you guys were still like not going to make it maybe because you were so busy, but you've been good at keeping up. Where have you guys been located? Where's the pocket of most of your business right now?
Warren got hit really hard the last few weeks, so we've been in Warren for a good amount of time right now. Really, the entire Metro Detroit area, just the last few days, there was a lot of wind damage, took a lot of power out. I know a friend of mine had lost power for almost a week and just got it back on yesterday.
Wow. That's interesting. I it's interesting because when power goes out, people are like, oh, we got to go to DT, we got to do this and that. They don't realize the sheer magnitude of how big the area is and how much energy it takes and how many people it takes to get the power lines back on and up. And I'm not saying high fives to DT, but I am impressed. They've done better communicating to the people who have power outages, and they've done a better job giving a better estimate of when the power will come back. But I still see on social media people going nuts.
It always happens after you're done shopping.
Right?
You put everything in the fridge and then power goes out. It's typically when it happens.
I'm surprised people haven't solved that issue besides a generator and a backup battery and stuff. But
so the generator is actually a very important piece of equipment that every homeowner should have.
Shouldn't that be part of like everyone has air conditioning today, right? Everyone has a furnace. Why not have a generator as part of the house?
People don't realize the risk when their power goes out. When your power's out, most people have a sump pump in their basement, and when the sump pump's not getting power,
Water's coming in,
and your power's out, is because it's raining. Your water's pooling up under your house, and eventually it finds its way into your basement if you got no power. So that's a really important thing to keep in mind. When power goes out, you got to keep an eye on that sump pump. And if you have a generator, run an extension cord to the basement and plug it in so you can clear the water out and doesn't end up in your basement.
Well, what I did too, I had a water pressure sump pump installed recently as well. So power's out.
Oh,
water pressure, but
okay.
Yeah, but you got to be careful.
That one is a big. It's a big win, but it's also a big cost.
Yes, I was gonna say if it's kicking and you're not aware, because it could also go out. When you're in the middle.
I did a deep dive once on battery backup sumps and city water. If you have city water and your power goes out, there's a valve that switches, and then the water pressure coming from the city will spin a impeller blade that will pump the water out of your sump. But you're running water from the city, and it's like everyone's like I said. People you hear me talk about water on the show, filtered water, clean water, but the cost of water from the city is very, very, very expensive. So you got to be careful. So that could get costly. 3 days of that.
Well, I mean, you can lose your sump pump during the day too.
Yeah.
With power. So if you're not paying attention, that's why it's important to have an alarm to know that it's out.
So if someone needs that, can you guys help someone with that, or can you refer him to get them an alarm or something for that sump pump?
We can refer it out. That's
Yeah.
not something that we do internally, but
It's more plumbing.
yeah, definitely something we recommend though.
So let's go through the process right now after a storm. We've got Easy Dry water mitigation in studio. Andrew Fumia.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah, Fumia and Steve Fumia from Easy Dry. The number is 788-6422, area code 248. EasyDryMI dot easy, letter E, then Z.
Correct.
Drymi.com is the website. So Warren, I live in Warren, bad storm. Next thing I know, I go in my basement, I see 2 inches of water. I get this weird smell. I call you up. What? How does this work? How do you guys like superheroes?
First thing we have to do is figure out where the water came from, as usual. If it came from the sump pump, can we get the sump pump operational? Can we get a plumber over there, get the pump on? That'll take a lot of the water down, and then you just got squishiness. And then it's where we come in is start taking out things that are wet, bringing in fans, dehumidifiers.
Your goal is to get rid of the water, number one. And first, number one, find out where it came from. Number two, get rid of it. Number three, dry it out quickly so you don't have mold and all kinds of contaminants.
Right. And you have to find out where it came from, because if you don't know where it came from, then you dry it out, it's going to come right back in. So you got to stop it from coming in.
Okay, so let's give it a sample. Water hit the ground outside the house so fast and so much the ground could not absorb it enough. Okay, and then water takes the path of least resistance. So water always wins, and as Glenn Hagee used to say, that's why we have a Grand Canyon. So water comes in, let's say in this situation, comes through the drains in the basement floor. And in those drains are dirty, muddy, schmutzy, skutsy, gross, dirty brown water. There's a classification, obviously, for those types of water.
Yeah.
You guys,
Cat 3.
I call you, and there's 2 inches of water, and you find out it's murky ass water. And you guys come out. What's the first thing you do?
Again,
Suck it out. You found out that it's dirty water.
yeah, we'll extract it out. If we need a plumber out there to clear the drains, you get a plumber out there to clear the drains. Sometimes it's the city sewers are just overwhelmed, and there's not a lot you can do until the city's main
Can
drains
handle
are
it, right.
Yeah, once they can get back caught up, the water will subside on its own, and then we can get going with removing all the wet materials.
Would a backflow preventer help with that?
Sometimes you can. They shy away from that because it causes problems in the other houses. If your house is the lowest house in the neighborhood, I'd be like, I'd want to put those in because you're going to be the one that gets the recipient of it. But when it goes backwards, it is. But what about when it comes through the foundation walls? Obviously, waterproofing is important after the fact, but water comes in, you got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
What are the risks if someone waits a few days?
Mold is your biggest risk. I mean, mold can start to grow within 24 hours of water present in the area. So
Mold needs what? Food and water to grow.
Yeah.
The right climate.
Yes.
High moisture conditions. Thank you, basement.
So if it doesn't have food or like an organic material, drywall, it won't grow. If it doesn't have water, it won't grow. So you gotta get rid of the moisture. If there's no moisture, mold cannot grow.
No moisture, no mold.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. So dry it out.
Yeah, you have to dry it out.
So what happens if now somebody says, oh, you know what? I do kind of smell musty. I haven't been in my basement. Because some people don't want to go in their basement. And then they go down because they hear us. Can they still call you guys? Can still go in? Even though it's not fresh water, you can still take care of everything.
Yeah, if something needs to if you're starting to smell that musty smell, chances are you need to cut some stuff out and get rid of it and replace it at that point. Because if a carpet stays wet for 48 hours, for example, and you've got that musty odor in it, you can clean it as many times as you want, but you're always going to have some trace amounts of that mildewy
what's the right
smell.
way to the moldy, mildew, musty smell? What do you guys use? Is there a special product? Because I mean, there's stuff you can go to Ace Hardware, you go to a big box store and get, but then there's the industrial, the real deal, and I hear that what you guys use is like, it's not like poisonous for you. It's not going to kill you.
My brother and I are both very health conscious. We realize that people live in these houses. You've got kids,
chemicals, right?
Sometimes they're senior citizens. So we use something called Decon 30. It's a plant based, natural, just disinfectant. The old advertisements for that product was that the owner of it or the producer of it would drink it on air and say, "Oh, it's so safe you could drink it." Well,
Is he alive?
I think I'm not sure if he's still alive today. But that kind of advertising is kind of frowned upon today because now you're encouraging kids to drink chemicals.
Yeah, no. I know. I remember that. What it was if you had a sore throat, if you had strep throat, take a shot of that, gargle with it. It would clear it up faster than antibiotics. I remember hearing that. So
I wouldn't recommend it.
We're not recommending any of that. We're recommending using it for your basement.
It actually is. Yeah,
spray it on the floor.
We're going to take a quick break. We've got Easy Dry in studio. We're going to talk more about flood damage and severe weather when we come back. My name's Adam Helfman. This is Hire It Done.
Are you dreading the thought of having a salesman come to your home when you need a new roof? That changes now. I'm Mike Harvey, founder of the Roof Resource, and shopping for a new roof has never been easier. We provide a complete new roof with quality shingles, expert installation, and family pricing for everyone. If you want a 5-star customer experience, all done virtually, then visit theroofresource.com. This is the new, no-pressure way to get a new roof on your home. To learn more, visit theroofresource.com. That's theroofresource.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. If you had a flood recently, severe weather came through your house and your basement's still wet and you get that musty smell, I've got the men from Easy Dry Water Mitigation and Property Restoration in studio, Andrew Fumia and Steve Fumia. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Thank you, Adam.
Easy Dry EasyDryMI.com, EZDRYMI.com. Or just go to Hire It Done. You can get all of them there. Or you can call them, 248-788-6422. It's never too late to get water damage taken care of, but you should act quicker than later.
Yes.
Now, what if the homeowner says, I don't have the money to pay it, but my insurance company will pay it? How can you help with them? Or you got to make sure you get the claim number and make sure it's covered?
Yeah, if the insurance company is covering it, we'll take care of all the emergency work necessary. We'll if anything needs to come out, if any demo needs to happen, we'll take care of everything. We bring the equipment in. We don't charge you anything. We negotiate with the insurance company, and we wait for payment from them.
What if the homeowner says, yeah, I have insurance, but I want to just pay out of my pocket? Can you quote it right up front?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've done enough of these jobs where
you know what it costs.
We got a good sense of how much it should be.
Now, you have the dryers in the house. Tell everyone what a dryer and a dehumidifier, those two components, how it helps in saving your basement, basically.
So you've got your two biggest pieces of equipment that we bring in for a flood. Obviously, air mover, which is a fancy term for a fan, and dehumidifier. So if you just put fans down, air movers, you're going to get the wet materials will start drying, but then the moisture starts accumulating in the air in the form of humidity. Dehumidifier brings the humidity out of the air, takes it into a tube and down to the drain where it belongs.
Okay, got it. So that keeps it, and low humidity means less room for mold to grow, toxic, and everything like that.
Exactly.
Do you measure the air quality? Do you guys test the humidity in the air?
We test the humidity. Once you get over 70% humidity, you're at risk for secondary damage. So if you've got water sitting in your basement, you've got drywall on the ceilings, drywall all the way to the top of the wall, if your humidity stays over 70%, then the ceilings and the top of the walls that are not getting touched directly by the water are at risk now of developing mold just from the humidity in the air.
Can you guys treat the mold?
Yeah.
Can you prevent it from growing? Can you spray a pre-treatment when you're tearing up stuff?
The only preventative measure for mold is to stop water from entering the area.
Gotcha. That's the best answer.
Yeah.
I appreciate you telling me that.
Yeah.
There's no science. There's no magic. It's get the mold, stop it from getting there.
Get the water out.
If you've got mold on drywall, people say you can encapsulate it and you can paint it. You're supposed to remove mold. There's certain instances where you've got drywall behind framing and you can't access it, and it's just the cost of taking that out is going to be just far too expensive to. Yeah.
So I have a finished basement. I have carpet on some part of it, and I have the standard we'll call it luxury vinyl tile gray planks that are random length that were mold resistant, mold proof, dry proof, but there's water underneath it and it's got that squish when I step on it. Whoa, okay, help me, please, solve me, save my life, please.
Unfortunately, the LVP, once you get water underneath it, the only way
to come out.
They have to pull them up. So they market them as waterproof, but it's waterproof if you drop a cup of water on it and it spills on top of it.
But from underneath,
if it gets to the walls and goes underneath the LVP, I mean, you got to get it out the same way it came in, and you can't really get any equipment in their paper thin size to get it out of there. You got to open up the floor, unfortunately.
Okay, but listen, you don't want mold there afterwards, and then you guys you'll pull out the old carpet, you'll do a little bit of the demo to get to the water.
We do all the demo necessary.
How far up I have a finished walls, drywall and everything. How far up do you go?
2 feet, typically.
Okay, 24 inches, a little bit over the plug.
But again, the longer you wait, could end up being 6 feet.
Because it's like a sponge. It goes higher, higher.
Yeah, water wicks up. It's like a siphon. The longer the water sits in the drywall, it keeps going higher and higher. But typically 2 feet is the amount required to fully dry out the wall.
Okay, and that's fine. And then once you get the demo done, it's cleaned up, and it's trying to dry it out. What does it take to dry out a house? Is it a day, 2 days, 3 days? Is there a monitor? You guys come and check. What's that process like?
So we do monitor. Typically, it takes about 3 days to dry out a house.
Okay, 72 hours.
Yeah, I mean that's not for every single job. I mean you can dry out an area in a day if it's concrete or not something that's super porous. Some of them could take 5 days to dry out, a week to dry out if you don't have the right temperature conditions.
Okay, but you guys are out. You got your finger on the pulse always.
Oh,
to
yeah.
get that. And is it times where it's not drying out quick enough? You bring in more equipment, or you don't need to that much?
Usually we set the correct amount from day one, but if we need to, we'll bring more equipment in. But that typically doesn't happen.
Okay.
We go around with our moisture meter and we'll check to see what's wet and what's not. If we need to move equipment around, maybe a fan is blowing at a certain area that's dry, we'll just reposition it. In most instances, that'll take care of it.
Well, that always helps as well. So you guys, if someone gets a claim, or not a claim, let's say someone has water and it's after hours. They remember, I heard it on Hire It Done. You guys are 24/7, right?
Yeah.
Call the phone number, and kaboom, right? You're completely there.
We're 24/7, so we've always got somebody on call.
the letter Z, dry, DRYMI.com is the website. Tell everyone the phone number if they need to call you.
248-788-6422.
That's awesome. And so you guys handle, if I have a doctor's office, I got a warehouse, I got commercial, you can do that as well.
Oh, yeah. And that's where we were all of last week. I mean, we had a big commercial job, and it took all of our guys the entire week to get that place taken apart.
Yeah, but you're there, you're saving money for the tenant or the owner of the building, because you have to work fast.
Oh yeah, and if you don't take care of it, again, your risk is mold spreads, and now your 2-foot flood cut becomes, we've got to demo out the whole building now because this was neglected, and now your repair bill goes from $1 million to $3 million because you didn't take care of everything timely.
Yeah, so you got to act quick. That's what the insurance company says. You have to mitigate your damages, and that means if there's something that you identify that could damage your property, you as the owner of the property, the insurer or the insured, has to make an attempt to stop any more damage.
Yeah,
and that's the phone call to you.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the way it should go, right?
Yeah. Once the insurance company starts seeing mold too, I mean, that's usually bad news for the homeowner, because at that point you might have waited too long, and they're going to say, well, you didn't do enough to prevent further damage.
Okay.
Also, that's the reason you should call us too, is because insurance will try to give their guys out there,
Yeah, well, they'll say, you call your insurance, here's how it works. Oh my God, there's water in my business. Who do I call? My friend who's my insurance agent. I call him. He says, okay, here's the 800 number. They'll give you a claim number, right? Mm-hmm. Then the claim number, and they say, oh, well, you want us to send someone right now? Most people are like, yeah, send them. They don't realize.
No, call us. Don't take the insurance company's person.
Well, and by the way, do you ever have, nothing against insurance companies, but I'm going to go on record and say D&D, deny and delay, right?
Yeah.
And although, they have, from their perspective, there's a lot of fraud, there's a lot of people who take advantage, so I can understand where they come from. However, if there's water in your basement and it's not anything that you did as a homeowner, I need someone now. I don't know about, what do you mean I'm not covered? What are you talking about?
Right.
Well,
and the biggest thing to remember is if the insurance company is sending you a vendor out there, they're working for the insurance company. If you call us, we're working for you. We're working for the client and the customer. And
even better.
And if you go to Google and you look at our reviews, and we've got over 85 5-star reviews.
Yeah, well, you guys are great. I mean, I don't bring people on the show just because, these look cool, let's just see what happens. No, people trust me. If you go out to a house, I can sleep at night confidently knowing that you're going to take care of them, they're going to be happy. And guess what? One of the things that I do differently than a lot of other contractors or a lot of other, let's say, referral or services like that, is the trait that I look for in a company is one that is solution-minded. And what do I mean by that? For everyone out there listening, just so we're on the same page, being solution-minded is nothing goes perfect every time. The best contractors, the best of the best, have mistakes and headaches. It's how they solve it. Mrs. Jones, when we came down to your basement, started digging out here or whatever, we found this. We should have done this, but we didn't. But now this is what we're going to do to correct it. You're all set. We solved it. That's the difference between a good contractor and a great contractor, the one that's solution-minded. What do you think, gentlemen?
I appreciate you saying that, because
it's true.
Everything doesn't go perfectly every time, but if you care about the person, you're understanding, and you correct mistakes, then
you got it. Yeah. Steve Fumia, Andrew Fumia, EasyDryMichigan.com. Thanks for coming on. Stay dry, brothers.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. Everyone have an awesome weekend. My name's Adam Helfman. I'll see y'all next week.